5 things today. 5 things we're talking about, and we're going to say, are we in it or are we out on these things? I love these in or outs.
We're going to do our 5 things you need to know in the Disney-verse today.
That's right.
A couple of universal things, a couple of random things as well.
All right. Well,
That's how we roll.
I feel like random's our middle name.
You know what I mean?
I do. I do know what you mean, by the way.
Well, I hope that you guys are having a good week, and we're going to go over these, and you could tell us whether or not you think you're in or out. By the way, I want to say thank you to those of you that asked some questions. I did a fun Q&A. I took over the Instagram account over the week and got to answer some of your questions. I know that there was a ton of them, and I just can't thank you enough. So what we're going to do is a whole podcast episode on that pretty soon.
Great. I love those takeovers. So I took over our Instagram, Unlocking the Magic podcast, by the way, on Instagram. I took over a couple weeks ago, and I was...
Yours are goofy questions. I loved it.
It's because people know the dynamic between us, I think, is like I'm kind of goofy and a little risky, and you're very safe and structured and pleasant and polite.
I don't want to break any rules or... You say that rules are just guidelines.
In the words of Barbosa.
That's true.
They're more like guidelines.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I feel like a rule is like, are you going to go to jail? No. Am I going to go to jail by sneaking a drink on the People Mover? No.
Yeah.
Am I going to enjoy myself a little bit better? Yes. So that's a risk I'm willing to take.
All right. Well, let's start off with number 1 because we have a lot to talk about, which I don't mind. But number 1 is no more virtual queue at Tron Lightcycle Run.
I'm very much anti-virtual queue.
You are? How come?
Because it's annoying.
Yeah.
I just want to go. Listen, we understand. They did it in Pandora. Well, they didn't do a virtual queue, but like Flight of Passage has a tremendously long line. And people are just okay with it. Like, yeah, people run to Pandora when they go to Animal Kingdom and they want to get on Flight of Passage. They run there in the beginning. But the virtual queue just makes an already difficult Disney trip even more difficult.
It makes it more complex, the things to do and things to worry about. But I don't mind the virtual queue. Like I kind of liked it. I understand why they did it because just like with Galaxy's Edge, they wanted it to lessen the actual wait time of you feeling like you're stuck in line versus being able to go out and enjoy other things in the park. So that's kind of the approach with these new kind of highly anticipated attractions that they were debuting.
I gotcha. They're trying to do like what Universal does at Volcano Bay with the Tapu Tapu.
Yeah.
But it's just so much more work. My brain is like a computer. Listen, my brain is not like a computer.
Okay, wait.
One part of the computer, which is space and availability of space, right?
Uh-huh.
And my brain is like almost maxed out.
Yeah.
I got no more room to work on virtual queues and get up early and try to log in at this right time and make sure I hit the button right at the exact time. And all my family members are involved with it too. It's like, I got enough to do.
Right.
I'm going on vacation. Can you just make it as easy as possible for me?
Well, from September 9th to 2024 and going forward, the ride will use a traditional standby line instead of the virtual queue, but guests will still have the option to purchase Lightning Lane access. And I got some heavy hitting reporting. Our Diz kid, has been following the news. And I said, how's it going? And she reported that line has been a little bit long. She said that she saw a couple of images where the line was trickling towards Space Mountain for this.
That's long. But if you think about the line for Tron and you think about how you get in line there's not a lot of twisting and turning once you're in the building. Like you think of Space Mountain, right? Like you get on Space Mountain and you walk into the building and you still have like a 10-minute walk to get to the switchbacks.
Yeah. The spaceport's pretty big.
Yeah. Tron is like kind of right in there.
True. Well, that was the heavy hitting reporting. That was part of her homeschool project this week was report on how Tron is doing with this recent news. So that was very good information, but we will be there hopefully soon to kind of report on our own.
That's right. Maybe my mind will change.
Maybe your mind will change.
I'll get in line. It's a 2-hour wait. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. Let's bring back virtual queue.
I really love Tron. I know people were kind of setting. So I like to I understand we've kind of have this philosophy of setting your expectations on the low side so you're not disappointed. But I was really excited for Tron when it debuted, and I couldn't wait to ride. And I actually really love the ride. I love the build-up. I love the story. I love being there all types of times. Like, it's fun to ride during the day because you get to kind of feel yourself being outside. For some reason, at night, it doesn't have that same effect. But I love going and visiting the queue outside at night because the musical score is unbelievable. And I just love it. So
you know what?
I'm excited. Yeah.
Great. If it's a long line, you know what's right there, like the Joffrey's the kiosk. You just get yourself a little snacky snack and a drinky drink, and then you just wait in line. Do you know how the origin story of the sneaking of the drinks onto the People Mover came to be?
No. Accidental?
It was definitely accidental.
Okay.
It was like, I went to go get a drink and a snack, and then we got in line for the People Mover, and that People Mover line moves pretty quick. And it moved way quicker than I anticipated it. So I was like, oh no, I have a drink and a snack in my hand. I'm certainly not going to miss the People Mover and or get rid of my drink and snack. So I had to figure out a way to bring it on there.
Okay.
But now with Tron, if it's a long line, you just get yourself a snack and wait in line and turn a negative into a positive.
That's true. I like that. We'll see how you feel going there and actually having to wait in the line.
I might have to fit a pizza or something in my bag for that line.
Is Tron worth the wait for you? So
how long?
Well, let's say it is like an hour and a half or something. It's not?
No.
Oh, see, I could stare up and listen to the music for an hour and a half easily.
I don't know.
I can easily find time.
I think, I'm trying to think. There's only a couple rides in all of Orlando that I think are worth an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. Hagrid's.
Yeah, but you come from having a short attention span anyway. So I think you have to kind of...
You know what? I'm pretty sure 99% of people in the United States really have a short attention spans, and the ones that say they don't are lying.
I do. Yeah, well, yeah. But I think because we always talk about it being worth the wait if it's a long ride, which Tron is not, or if it's super exhilarating, which I feel like Tron is.
Meh.
No?
I don't think it's worth an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like Hagrid's or Velocicoaster or Cosmic Rewind, definitely worth an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But I don't think Tron's worth an hour and a half. So we have to see if that line for this right here, in this circumstance, since we're doing it in and out for 5 things, if it's an hour and a half, I'm out.
Well, I'm in, so that's a bummer. You'll be doing something else while I'll be waiting in line making friends, which I do anyway because typically when we go, we're a family of 5, so I always have to be, seated with someone else.
That's true.
A stranger I don't know. So it's fine if I have to wait alone.
Well, listen, you wait in line for Tron for an hour and a half. I'll get lunch. I'll get on the People Mover. I'll probably do Space Mountain. I'll go on the Carousel of Progress. I might even do Pirates in that time.
Yeah, hey, listen, that's a long time. You're going to wait 60 minutes for Space Mountain too?
Strategery.
Ah, gotcha. Well, speaking of Cosmic Rewind, I know the next question really is what happens with Cosmic Rewind. So Disney has hinted at ending the virtual queue on that over the years. They've surveyed guests even with their preference between standby line and virtual queue. They actually, those people that stop, the cast members that stop, you always think that you're going to get something for it, but it's just a survey that they do. I
always try not to make eye contact.
That's a good
so I don't get surveyed. What's that over there? Oh, someone's coming for the survey. They got the iPad. I just want to get in the park. I don't want to answer any questions.
Yeah. Well, they did also have a kind of they had installed an overflow queue and the umbrellas were added, so people really thought it was coming, but it's not. They chose to just keep it as is, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I think that one is just so intensely popular. It's probably one of the best rides they have ever created. I mean, it just speaks volumes to kind of the thrill and the storytelling that Disney does so well.
That is true. They did a good job with that one.
I don't know. Do you ever think that they were hinting at it?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one because I feel like that is a really, really popular ride that people want to go on. The other thing about the virtual queue is that you can only go on once.
Yeah.
And what if you've been to the Epcot a lot and
you
want to go on multiple times? I don't want to pay. I paid to get in. I'm trying to trying to like work it out where I don't have to pay extra.
No,
I understand you can pay.
Right.
But I'm cheap.
Well, yeah, you said it. Mm-hmm.
We're doing a podcast here. Don't make any money.
Support the team, you guys.
So I can't always just, hey, let's buy a virtual lightning lane.
Right. Yeah.
So sometimes I want to go on once or twice or 3 times even.
Well, we'll see what happens, but it's as of now, there's no more hinting. It kind of seems like they are keeping quiet on it when it comes to that, but we'll see. So next one is, and we talked about this recently, but it is part of the 5 things today, and it's the Villains Land over Magic Kingdom. So this was announced.
By the way, you didn't say if you were in or out.
Oh, I said I was in. I'm in if I have to wait an hour and a half. If it's 2 hours, that's pushing it. I don't think I could wait 2 hours for Tron. That's a long time. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I probably would pay somebody to wait in line for me. That's how I would pay. I'd rather give it to some random person than to Disney.
That's actually not a half bad idea. Excuse me, sir.
Isn't there like an app where you can reserve? We got to create an app.
That's how you get
a reserve line app.
That's how you
reserve
get
my
kicked out.
seat.
Yeah.
Like, you know what?
These
you
hacks.
sign we'll just have people sign up and like tag you. You just tap
them in.
No, they tap Magic Band, tap them in.
You tap them out and tap them in.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. I'm surprised.
Instead of tapu, it's the tappy tappy.
And you support, the local guest who, has to eat a lot of ramen noodles, speaking from experience, to afford Disney trips.
We should create that app.
Okay.
All
right, moving on. Can we go on and move on?
Let's move on.
Okay. So, Once Upon a Nightmare, a place where poison apples are aplenty and magic potions can ruin your whole day. For all those hiding in shadows, it's time to join them as we lift the veil on a forthcoming Villains Land at Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World.
Do you think Villains Land at Walt Disney World is going to be like what Snow White Adventure was in Disneyland? Kind of like a darker version of that?
I kind of have. When I close my eyes, it's exactly what I think of.
I hope they do that. And I know it's hard because there's the whole part of doing these darker attractions or lands where you don't want to not be welcome to everybody. Right? Because obviously if they're going to do a whole new land, the reason they're doing the whole new land is to kind of spread out the guests. And if half the guests are too afraid to go in there, they're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah. True. Good point. It is, the Evil Queen, she's a lot. We've encountered her in Disneyland quite a bit. She can be...
Well, we've encountered her at home.
We've encountered her here at home, too.
I live in a house with 4 girls.
It's true.
There's a reason it says I love Dole Whips and maybe 3 people.
Teenagers, yeah. Teenage daughters. No one ever really prepared you for that.
Nobody.
But yeah, so we all heard about this, about the announcement at the D23, but we haven't really gone too far into it. And it is something that I think everybody is going to really be excited about. Do I think that it deserved its own park? Probably. I think it definitely has so much popularity that I think it could have really been Disney's chance to seek out the teenagers and the people that are gravitating towards Universal parks. This could be the perfect fit. But maybe this land is kind of their place to start on that and to see whether or not they could potentially do a whole new kind of, I don't know where, but if they could do a whole park. But because somebody had mentioned the park capacity, and with all these new attractions and new lands coming, it's still the same boats that leave the Magic Kingdom.
I know. I can only imagine them upping the capacity at Magic Kingdom and being able to, or how do you get in and out, like and still remain sane?
Remain sane. Always have a snack in hand.
They need a lightning lane for exiting.
Yeah.
I'd pay money for that. 2 apps they need.
Okay.
Save My Line.
Yep.
Tappy Tappy.
Tappy Tappy.
And then a lightning lane for the Monorail Express.
That would be nice. That would really be. Well, that's when, you see, that's where they get you, because you pay a lot more. I was going to say a little more, and I was like very wrong about that. But those resorts that are on the Seven Seas Lagoon, there's nothing better than ending your night at Magic Kingdom and then hopping on a resort boat back to the Poly or whatever. It's just peaceful. It's quiet. It's just the best way to end the night. And unfortunately, you got to pay a lot to stay there. So it kind of isn't for everybody, which stinks.
Yeah, but even so, even staying at the Polynesian, it's not easy to get on the monorail.
Right. But
it's easier, but it's still not easy. Listen, I'm not proud of what I'm about to say, but I would pay a lot of money for like a swift exit out of the Magic Kingdom back to the car.
That's what I said. You go on the resort boat.
Name your price. Okay. $150, I'd pay it.
$900.
$900. Here I wouldn't pay it, but when I'm there after a long day at the Magic Kingdom,
you might
take my money.
Take my money all of a sudden. Yeah, true. All right. Well, are you in or are you out on the new Villains Land?
I'm in.
Okay. Now, this goes to the new Villains show that we have to talk about. So this is really what the 5 things that we wanted to share today was about, the Villains show. So they're doing this kind of thing where I think they're really kind of introducing more of the villain story in the Disney parks. And this new Villains show is going to be at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, this goes back to, again, like being inclusive for everybody and making sure that, like, I remember our kids at a very young age, well, maybe not even that young, like 6, 7, 8, they were very frightened when it came to the villains. They did not want to see any of them on the stage shows. They were totally out. So it might be interesting to see what happens with this at Hollywood Studios.
I'm not a shows guy, if you haven't noticed.
Okay.
So, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
All right.
I do enjoy the Halloween parade. So if it's similar to that, I think the Halloween parade is a little darker, right? A little bit more older centric for like older teens maybe. Mm-hmm. And I do enjoy that part of it. So I probably would love the villains show more than any other show.
I think you would, because this is going to be debuting. It's scheduled to debut. We'll see if that really happens, but it's, sometimes they have a delay and things. But summer of 2025, it's Disney's live entertainment. They're preparing to transform Sunset Showcase into this kind of enchanting, reflective of the magic mirror that's coming to the park. So it's going to, I think, just seeing it and seeing the imagery that they did, the artist rendering, it's pretty amazing. That looking into it, I kind of think this is going to be one of their better shows. Like, I really even think, Bruce, you're going to like this.
We'll see. I'm in. Listen, I'm in to give it a shot.
Okay.
I'm willing to give anything a shot, except character dining.
Gotcha.
But although I gave that a shot at our ABD that we went to, and I didn't hate it.
You didn't, but then again,
I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah. You also didn't stay for all of it.
Well, they did give me an out.
Yeah.
They were accommodating to everybody, like they should be.
Right. Well, I'm excited because Captain Hook, Maleficent, who's my favorite, is going to be on stage, and it's really going to be...
So, like, are they going to involve Barbossa? He seems to be a villain.
He is, but I don't see him on the lineup. We'll see. Time will tell.
Man,
this is a stage. I love live production. I love supporting anything with the arts, and whenever there's live cast members doing their thing on stage, like, to me, that's just the full circle that I know Disney does so well. I just love to see it as much as possible. So I love this, and I'm very much in. If you couldn't tell, I'm just so excited.
This is right up your alley.
This is really right up my alley. I think it's a perfect kind of blend to the Villains Land that's coming to Magic Kingdom. I think they're starting to kind of open up their kind of world to having the villains. Listen, are the villains just misunderstood? Have you ever stopped to think? Maybe, they're just a little bit, you have to kind of hear out their story.
You know what I mean? You got to say that. You don't have to finish your sentence. You know what I mean?
Did you say you're in or you're out?
I said I'm in.
Oh,
I think I'm in. I'm willing to give it a shot.
Okay. Well,
even though it's not my thing.
You don't
going
have a
in with
choice.
extreme low expectations.
I was going to say, do you really think that I would let you not be in on this? You're going.
It depends on what it is, because I could just do something else. But then again, if I do something else, I got to sit with a random person. So I probably will just suck it up and stay there with you.
You're not going alone anywhere. You're probably taking a kid with you.
True.
And that child is going to say, Dad, sorry, we're going to see this.
Yeah, I guess I'll give it a shot and report back.
All right. Next one is a little Universal news. Beetlejuice 2.
Whoa. I got to bleep that out. You can't say it 3 times. Are you crazy?
Whoops, my bad. All right. Well, Beetlejuice 2, formerly known as Beetlejuice, which I didn't realize. I always thought it was Beetlejuice 2, but it's Beetlejuice. That's the formal name. Is now in theaters. We went on opening night. I was kind of bummed out because I was really excited to go on opening night, just like when we did the Haunted Mansion. The energy was so much fun that night, and they had like a special pin giveaway and everything. There was nobody in the theater.
It was weird. Yeah, you said when we went to a couple opening nights. Indiana Jones. We went to what did you just say?
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. We went to like the Marvel ones. We usually go on opening night, and there's always packed. And
it's just fun.
Even Deadpool, right? Like Deadpool, we went kind of not opening night, but opening week.
Yeah.
And it was still pretty vibrant in there. And it makes the movie so much better when other people are around you and getting excited for the movie and super into it. And they show emotions during the scenes that they should show emotions to.
Yeah.
It makes it more exciting than watching it at home.
You mean it's like people are clapping and cheering and giggling, and it's like just more, it's a filled theater. It's fun. It's kind of a fun experience, even though you don't like crowds. It's still kind of, it's exciting.
I do like the way the movies are set up nowadays with those reclining seats. You feel like you're in your own little cubby.
You do.
So it's perfect for me because like you get to be in your own little cubby, but you're still around the excitement and the atmosphere of a crowded movie theater, which is fun.
Especially when you buy the seat next to you.
Don't say that.
Okay, moving on.
Hey, listen, child ticket, right? Nobody's there. You just buy a child ticket for the empty seat.
Okay. Well, anyways, we went. I was disappointed that there was no one in the theater that night. I was really actually kind of shocked. I really thought that this movie had a huge pull. I thought a lot of people were going to be excited to see it. And I think for the most part, it's doing well. I actually haven't seen what it's doing in the box office, but I just thought it was really weird that it was literally us and maybe one or two other couples in the entire theater. So that was weird. But so the plot is after a family tragedy, the 3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River. They're still haunted by Beetlejuice, and Lydia's life is turned upside down when her teenage daughter, Astrid, accidentally opens a portal to the afterlife.
It doesn't actually look here like it's doing that great.
What is it? What does it say?
It says here, according to the internet, 131 million as of the recording of this. But the first one made 138 million.
So,
and that was in 1989.
Okay. Well, when you go on IMDb, that Internet Movie Database, which I love. By the way, thank you so much for everybody that has been leaving a review on there. I love reading them. And I love seeing the numbers go up. So it's just been so exciting because I actually look at that platform a lot. It's just kind of where you go to look at TV shows, podcasts, video game, movies. It tells you all about the reviews and everything. So thank you for that, by the way. But Beetlejuice is rated 7.1, which is actually kind of a high rating for IMDb.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a pretty healthy rating. So they've released this. They did like a whole, I feel like Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega, like they all did so many kind of promotions for this. They had amazing outfits, and it was kind of all just really visually, really pretty to see. And I think getting everybody excited to watch. Michael Keaton, who plays Beetlejuice, is such an incredible actor, and I was just so excited to see him on film again, playing this iconic character. I don't know if I loved it.
Really?
I don't know if it's because my expectations for the first ones was so high. Like that's an iconic movie, Beetlejuice. The acting is top notch. The storytelling, visual it's a movie that we play regularly, especially during the Halloween season. This one, I always gauge it, and we talk about this off air a lot, is like if you would see it multiple times. Like there's been a few movies, especially recently, that we've gone a couple times to see, and we really enjoyed it, watching it a couple times over and over. So, but this one, I don't know if it's a one and done.
I wonder if people maybe it didn't make as much money as the other one because people didn't. First of all, when Beetlejuice originally came out, it was like a unique kind of movie,
right?
If you think about it, like there was no other movies like that I remember, and this one had high anticipation, but it was 30 years ago, so our kids don't really our kids are an anomaly, but most kids don't remember the first Beetlejuice because it was so long ago.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's a staple for Halloween, especially when you go to Universal Parks and you see Beetlejuice out there. Like I don't know. Okay. Yeah.
Would you go back to see Beetlejuice?
I'm struggling with that. I kind of want to, just to give it another chance before I really rate it. But as of right now, seeing it once, I was going to say it's a 6 out of 10.
I would say it's one of those movies where there's movies like Deadpool I wanted to see again in the theater.
Yeah.
Some of the Marvel movies that I remember I wanted to see again in the theater. Beetlejuice is a movie that I may want to see again, but I'll probably wait till it comes out on TV or Netflix or something like that.
Some of the storyline didn't really mix with like, I don't want to give spoilers away, but there's like one particular character that's in it. They go back to this character quite a bit and tell the story of this character, but it seems unnecessary in a way. And I don't know if maybe they're going to continue this movie and make a third one, and that's why they introduced this character. But it just seemed like they could have removed her and it would have been fine. I also didn't love, and being really picky here, but when you go back to the original movie and nowadays, the way that things are seen on screen now, it's so crystal clear and crisp, which obviously people love. But to me, when it came to Beetlejuice, like the makeup, it kind of seemed fake because the way the screens are now, it's so digitally perfect. Like you could see every imperfection, which by the way, we're recording now and we're on YouTube and I'm like, oh my gosh, let me lower my hat. No, I'm just kidding. But don't.
Yeah, you do want that 80s horror version of the film is what I think of it should look like. When you think of like an 80s horror movie, it's like a little grainy. Like that's what you want this movie to be, especially in the darker scenes.
It almost felt like Beetlejuice, like I could see under his eyes like perfectly. It almost looked like he went out and drew everything that minute and like you could see all the lines. And that was really distracting to me throughout the whole movie.
Well, now you're being picky.
I am, but I'm going back to like that kind of era we're in right now. So I don't know if that movie kind of made sense to the way things are being filmed. Like I don't know. That's kind of how I felt. But Delia, who's played by Catherine O'Hara, oh my gosh, she's so epic.
She did an amazing job. I even left the theater. Like you're like into movies, and by into movies, I mean like you analyze how people act in the movies, right? I'm just a consumer, so
I don't analyze anything.
You do.
Oh. Okay.
It's good though, in a good and a bad way. Like you can really like dig into if an actor like really delved into the role.
Yeah.
And I think I walked out of that movie and I'm like, well, she was the best person in that movie.
Other than obviously Michael Keaton.
Even Michael Keaton. I think she did a better job with her role than Michael Keaton did with his.
Interesting. Well, and then obviously Jenna Ortega, who I really love. I don't know if I wanted more of her. I don't know what I was looking for, but Winona Ryder seemed a lot more Stranger Things to me than Lydia in this movie. And that was also hard. Like they kind of did her hair the same as a teenager. I kind of wanted her to evolve a little bit and I don't know, more story, more heart. Whereas the first one I feel like had that. You kind of felt bad that they passed away and there was just more, even though it was like a freaky film, it still had more heart to it.
Yeah, she definitely had. Maybe it's because you know her from Stranger Things, so it had more of that vibe. But I agree. It was a good movie, not great. I will see it again, but I won't pay to see it again.
I want to see it again, and I will pay to see it again just because I want to make sure that what I'm saying here is like how I truly feel.
Well, let me know how that goes.
I'm feeling like I'm being really particular with this one. It's hard when they do a remake or an add-on to such an iconic film.
So I'm in on that though because I did enjoy it.
And I'm slightly jealous because they filmed like some scenes in Melrose, Mass, and I was not an extra.
Oh, you didn't get to go on that?
No.
Next time.
I'm bitter.
Beetlejuice, you get to go on.
That's the one. Okay. All right. Number 4, Disney's Destiny cruise ship is now available to book. Disney's highly anticipated new heroes and villains inspired ship. It's also going to debut some pretty awesome things like the new Lion King restaurant, Pride's Lands, which Feast of the Lion King.
Which means you don't eat with your hands. That's the feature of the restaurant.
That's the feature.
No utensils, no hands.
So I'm not sure if that's accurate, Bruce, but
it's not?
Yeah, you might want to look
I read that
on
on the line somewhere.
It's a first-of-its-kind dining experience celebrating the music of Walt Disney Animated Studios' The Lion King.
And it uses no utensils or hands. That's what it says right there in the show notes.
Disney's Hercules, an all-new Broadway-style show retelling the popular film Hercules. DeVille's, a wickedly chic piano lounge. I can't say that word. Is it piano or piano?
Piano? I don't know.
Celebrating the one and only Cruella DeVille.
I think that's going to be fun.
I think that's going to be very
that's a hit. That's a hit right there. I think that's a great idea.
Edna a la Mode Sweets, a confectionery inspired by Pixar's The Incredibles. The Sanctum, Disney's Cruise Line first lounge inspired by the powerful sorcerers and mystical artifacts of Marvel's Doctor Strange.
That's exciting.
There's a lot happening, plus staterooms, suites. They're going to have some really cool custom artwork with the iconic and epic Disney stories, a new villain-packed storyline aboard the Aquamouse water attraction, and an iconic tribute to legendary Marvel superheroes like Black Panther, Spider-Man, and Iron Man.
This is the sister ship to the Wish, right?
Yes. And this one people are very, very excited about this. I am too, because this one has what I think is probably one of the best, which I want to see Disney do just like a pirate's ship.
The Black Pearl?
If they'd ever do that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to start saving now.
They should have did the Black Pearl instead of Galaxy, the Star Wars hotel.
They should have. I mean,
you don't shower. You just dress like a pirate. You drink lots of rum.
Everybody's
people would sign up for that left and right.
Can you imagine if they debuted a Disney Cruise Line Black Pearl. Like, could they even do that? If they did that, people will go. Me would go nuts. That thing would be booked so far out in advance.
What would be more popular?
Wow.
That or an express pass to leave Magic Kingdom at night?
I don't know. That's a
question of the show.
That's a question of the show. Did we say, by the way, if we're in our Beetlejuice?
I said I was in.
I'm a mix. I'm in between. All right. Back to this cruise ship. You'll also join the ranks of Pirates of the Caribbean at Cask and Cannon, a new pub here. You and your fellow Buccaneers will gather your tales of your high sea adventures, and it's going to be an eclectic kind of cozy lounge furnished with treasures acquired. There's quotations in
Them
that.
are but a long words. We're not but humble pirates here, Missy. I don't know what anything you just said there.
Basically, there's going to be a new pirate lounge. I'm really excited about it. I think that this one is going to be, again, maybe it's a test. I don't know. Let's see how busy this lounge is. But pretty cool to have something pirate themed on a cruise ship.
Would you rather the Pirate Cask and Cannon or the Cruella DeVille Lounge?
Are you kidding? Pirates.
Oh, okay.
You have a touch of destiny.
That's what she said.
You have a touch of destiny about you. That's got to be, I think that they should do it anyways. Well, this will embark in November 2025. Bookings are available, started September 12th. This is departing from the second second home port in Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale.
All right.
So exciting. It's going to have 4 and 5 night cruises, which I don't know. 4 night cruises are too. I've changed my tune. I used to always think, do a 4 night cruise because I used to.
Well, 4 nights cruises are great to get your feet wet on cruising. If you're not sure if you want to cruise or not, or maybe you think you're going to get motion sickness and you don't have anything to help with that, 4 night cruises are a great way to kind of get your feet wet.
Yeah.
But then once you go on a 4 night cruise, you're like, that's not long enough.
It's kind of like a tease. And I think it takes you up to like 3 nights to get your sea legs. And you're like, wow, I really got this, And
Yeah.
even if those that suffer from motion sickness, there's definitely a bunch of hacks you can do. But it's like, I think once that 3rd day comes, if you kind of incorporate all that stuff to help with that, something changes in your body. I don't know what it is. But by the time the 4th day
relaxation.
comes, that's
food,
it.
coma. No work, no cell service. Like, that's what changes in your body.
That salt air,
Yeah.
right? Like, I know that some cruise lines, they offer all these amazing Wi-Fi packages, and Disney does too, but I don't want that. I just want to like escape, just be on the sea. I always tell people, like, especially in high stress careers, and I'm like, you need a cruise. You need to go on a cruise because you check out. It's like it's so much fun at Walt Disney World and Disneyland, of course, but 2 things I feel like you check out completely happen to be in a Disney product. It's Disney Cruise Line and an Adventures by Disney.
That's true.
Those 2, they like, especially Adventures by Disney, because you're so busy all the time. There's no time to like look at your phone and just kind of just be in reality. Like, you're always kind of set into the story. So those 2 for me are really fun.
I agree. I think a little bit more on an Adventures by Disney because they set the day up for you. You don't have to look at your phone.
Right.
Like, there's always something going on, and they're organizing it for you pretty well.
They encourage you not to be on your phone, which I love. But same kind of feeling on the cruise ship. But back to getting your sea legs. Like, the best part for me is like when you're off the ship and then you're kind of bouncing around because you're like, wait, I just got my sea legs. Now I'm on dry land.
I didn't feel like that at all.
You didn't?
I didn't feel like the ship swaying like you said. I mean, once or twice maybe.
That's so much fun to me, though.
And then getting off the boat, it was just like, all right, it was just regular to me. Maybe I am a pirate.
You get brave. Like, your day 3 or day 4, you're like, wow, I can go out on the cruise ship at night, maybe explore. I'm not afraid.
I'm a pirate. I'm a secret pirate like William Turner. He thought he was a blacksmith, but he was really a pirate. Maybe that's me.
That is you. You actually have a touch of destiny about you.
I do.
Preserving.
I do have a touch of destiny. It's in my string backpack, and I sneak it on attractions with me.
Okay, great. Well, are you in or are you out on this new cruise ship?
How can you not be in?
I mean, you can be out based on the price.
Oh, I didn't see that yet.
Disney Cruise is not for, the low income, low budget. Why
are you calling me out?
They're expensive. I definitely think they're worth it. I think the one thing Disney does so well that the other cruise lines kind of haven't done is just they still have that story, right? So you're still going on a Disney kind of adventure.
That in the service level.
The service.
Like, I love cast members and they do a great job, but it does feel a little bit like Disney, when it comes to the resorts and parks, has taken a little bit of a step down when it comes to the service level. But on cruise ships, it's still like that service level that you remember.
Yeah. I mean, you get that on other cruise lines, but it's the service level plus like the story. And I love hearing like the music when you're in the corridors and you're hearing it's not in your face Disney, but it's just enough where you still feel like you're on a magical voyage. I want to go now.
So do I.
I want to go on the Black Pearl though.
I do too.
Like that would be.
I don't know if I want to go on the Black Pearl.
No, they'd make you work.
Yeah.
You'd be like.
Be intimidating.
They'd get you by like, all right, we're going to get everyone back to work. You're going to really be immersed.
You got to sleep in hammocks.
You're going to love that pirate
There's no
life.
walls.
There's no showers.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm on. I don't know if I'm in on that.
Okay, maybe they can work.
I'm in on the Destiny. I'm out on the Pearl.
Okay, all right. Next is and last is this is kind of a little bit random, but I did a post in our club UTM, which was surprising to me because I didn't realize there were so many, and I guess I should have because he is an incredible performer and actor. And I had basically asked the question of, hey, is there any Childish Gambino fans in the group? And so many chimed in because I was so thankful that I got to go see him live in his show, at a show at the Boston Garden recently. What an incredible performer. And I know everyone's probably wondering, Donald Glover, the actor? That's like in
Spider-Man's uncle.
Dr. Emmett Brown's voice. I love saying that. Yes. So what an incredible actor. What an incredible musician. And his performance was epic. But he recently just announced that he's putting a pause on this. Now, this is his last tour ever. So that's really why when I got the opportunity to go, I really didn't even second guess it. Tickets were kind of expensive, but I knew that I would regret it because I love seeing him on film too, and I just thought it'd be so amazing to see him in person on stage. But he just announced that he is postponing the remaining of his North American tour dates on this final tour for health-related reasons.
Oh no!
Yeah, he says, quote, unfortunately, I have to postpone the rest of the North American tour to focus on my physical health for a few weeks. Wrote this as a statement posted on his X page. Says also, thanks for the privacy, thanks for the support, thanks for the love. He also wrote that ticket holders should hold on to their tickets because they will be honored for the rescheduled dates, which have not yet been announced. But they were supposed to set to conclude the October 3rd in Chicago, and then the tour was going to go over to Europe in November. So he had some. What I have to say is, there's nothing that he wrote about his illness, but I gotta say, when seeing him perform, the energy of those 2 hours, he was on. I mean, I was just looking at him and I was like, maybe in Greek they call it the evil eye, like you accidentally give someone the evil eye. I'm like, he needs to be wearing his evil eye bracelet.
It's hard too because like you do a tour like that and you have to be on every night and you do it for months on end. It must be so much work.
So much work. I mean, he looked to be in great physical health. I mean, his shape, like he was just dancing and had the crowd it was just so energetic. By the way, if anybody wants my videos, just send us a message on Instagram and I'll send you what I have. I was able to get some really cool videos of him on stage. We had some really awesome seats, but it's just, I was looking at him and I know he's not super young and I'm like, wow, like at 9:00, I was ready. Like the concert started at 8 and I was like, it's past my bedtime. So I can't imagine not only that, but performing the way he does. So I just hope that he can get some rest. And I know a lot of people are really anticipating this last leg of his tour. So hopefully he can get back on it. But, obviously health comes first. So that's really important.
I'm out on that.
You're out.
Well, I drove you to it, so I didn't go. So I'm out on that.
You didn't go, but it was so much fun, and I wish you did because I knew you would have loved it. But it was also past your bedtime.
Definitely.
I mean, there was moments where I was like, I can't believe I'm still.
I don't know if I'd feel more out of place at a Childish Gambino concert or a sit down character dining.
It was epic. It was epic. I usually only have energy past 9 p.m. and a lot of people can say this about me at Walt Disney World or Disneyland. That's usually it. And you know what? In Universal, I have so much fun, but I'm kind of glad they close early on most nights because that's the one place I can't go. Maybe it's because their rides are so more thrilling. So that I'm done by like 6 o'clock. I'm out.
That's funny.
Well, I'm in. I hope he's better. I hope that Like I said, health comes first. But if you guys want those videos, let me know. So excited.
Unlocking the Magic podcast on Instagram.
Yes. And that's going to do it. I think
That's
that
it.
was 5 things. I don't know how long we just chatted for, but I could go on. I mean, I could add some more if you'd like.
You know what? Let's save it for the next episode.
Okay.
Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast, Unlocking the Magic podcast on Instagram.
Yes.
If you want to join Club UTM, you can do that too, clubutm.co.
Yes, and we talked a little bit about the ABD earlier. That's Adventures by Disney.
That's right.
We have some spots available. They will sell out, so please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we could send you more information. It's not an inexpensive trip, but I'm going to tell you right now, it is epic. We did a podcast episode about our 4-day trip. This is going to be a 6-day adventure. I'm super excited about this one. It's going to go deep into Disney history. We're going to literally walk the steps of Walt Disney. It's happening at the end of April 27th of 2025. And we're really excited. We have a good group going right now. We still have some spots available. So hit us up. But I want to say too, we just did a post recently. We're collecting photos. So basically what we're going to do is we're collecting photos of rare Walt Disney photos that we can find. So not only when we're at the ABD walking the steps, we actually have the photos of Walt in our hands so that when we're touring, we get to see and live the history while we're there. So I'm really excited about that. Send us those via email. Is that probably the best way, Bruce?
Yeah, you can do that. Unlocking the Magic podcast at gmail.com.
Did it take you a minute?
It took me a minute because I have like 87 emails that I'm trying to think of. You know what? Just send it to Bruce at utmtravel.com.
Okay.
That's the easiest one.
Or you could always send it to us via Instagram as well.
Can I just say something about this ABD? At first, when we went on that first ABD, I was like not sure about it because I don't like to be around people I don't know that much. But I do have to say, like, once you get to know everybody after that first day, and they keep you so busy and engaged that you get to come to love all the people who are on the trip, and like you miss them.
I know.
I can't believe I just said that out loud.
I literally cried.
Is that what happens? Is this
Yeah.
what is this feeling I have inside?
That's your heart, honey.
Oh, it is? I didn't know I had that in there.
That's it. That's what it feels like.
So it did feel awesome. And we went on the shorter one last time, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, if we had a couple more days to
Yeah.
do this one, it would have been
We needed
even better because the third day you really, really get to know everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then the next day it's over for the shorter
and you
one.
miss everybody. Yeah.
But the longer one, which is going to be the one we're going on in April, is going to be the place where you can like really get to know everybody, and it's like it'll be the perfect length.
It's not awkward. And what they do really well for introverts too is like they give you time to kind of go off on your own as well.
Yeah.
So it's just enough of the intermingling, but it's super fun and it's super VIP. And I just love it so much. And you just got me teary-eyed because I was thinking about leaving everybody. It's just so much
Well, if
fun.
you want information, go to unlockingthemagic.com/ABD. And you can go there. It just gives a description of what comes along with it. And like Connie said, it's not cheap. But
We did
for the
have
price you get,
Yeah.
the price you pay, you look at the price, you're like, oh, that's not cheap at all. But you get like VIP access to
Well-
Walt's apartment, the parks, the best resort in Disneyland. It's a lot of stuff that comes with it.
I think it was Dan who said, if you look at the resort at the California Adventure, it's like $700 a night.
On a good night.
On a good night. And it's like, so just that alone that you're getting. But a lot of people, which I really loved last time, was they were celebrating like anniversaries, birthdays. It's not just couples, it's families that were going. It's mom and dad, it's grandkids. They were doing like a special trip. So it was really fun. But
Yeah.
anyways, so yeah. So, and don't forget about those photos. If you guys have them, even if you're not able to come to this one, send them our way.
Yeah, we'll delete them right away if you're not coming.
No, please send them.
Okay, send them over.
Okay.
Send them over to Bruce at UTM Travel, and just go to the website too. There's all kinds of information there. But
Okay.
that's it. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. Again, if you're listening to the audio version of this, go subscribe on YouTube too, because we're gonna be doing some videos over there that aren't on the podcast feed.
Yes.
So thank you
we
so
are
much.
doing that.
Yes,
They're not on the podcast feed.
sometimes
Oh, okay.
I might delete them.
No. Well, and then there's some bonus ones we're doing too lately. We're doing some Universal bonus episodes, which I really have fun doing.
Yeah, those are fun.
All right.
All right, thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.